Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. This is not a good time for Ubisoft. It's one problem after another, after another, after another, whether it is plummeting stock prices, failure of video games, delaying an Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, delayed until February. It seems like one thing is piling on top of another. And well, in case you couldn't figure it out by now, it's continuing. A couple of things just surfaced. France's Ubisoft faces a 3-day strike. Ubisoft employees are going on strike because they don't want to go back to the office to work. Can you imagine that? I guess being in a union, you can choose to do whatever you want to, but if the company changes its, protocol as far as when you should need to be coming back to work or not, well, if you're in a union, you can disagree and just say, up and go on strike. But a 3-day strike, not really entirely sure how that's going to affect the company, but you do what you got to do. 3-day strike in a dispute over remote working and pay. Now, didn't hear about the pay part. I just heard about the remote working. So they want better pay, which, fight for your rights, fight for your pay, fight for better working conditions. But remote working? I guess it's just because of my age. It's a foreign concept to me. But they're hitting a firm already struggling with poor sales and collapsing share prices. It's an absolute tragedy. But to top it all off, I could go more into the strike, but, what more information do you need? There's something else that popped up its little head. Another headache for Ubisoft. Lawsuit alleges it illegally shared Ubisoft Store customer data with Meta. Oh, dear. Sharing data that you're not supposed to, getting data from customers, from consumers, as they like to be called, or like to call them. Sharing it when you're not supposed to, making a little money off that extra information. We all know these companies do it, but when they tell you they don't, and then they do, I guess that's a problem. Let's see what the article has to say. Lawsuit claims Ubisoft undisclosed use of Meta's pixel analytics tool is a violation of several statutes. As if it doesn't have enough to worry about, Ubisoft is now facing a potential class action lawsuit. Allegedly, it illegally shared potentially identifiable information about Ubisoft Store users with Meta because we want Facebook to get all of our information. I mean, how much information does Facebook already have on half the population of the planet? Ubisoft Store isn't anywhere near the behemoth of Steam, but it's there and people use it. Likewise, the game subscription service Ubisoft Plus is no Game Pass, but we're not trying to disregard. Anyway, not trying to lighten this dilemma for Ubisoft. They're no Game Pass, but the fact that its continued existence means some number of people are paying monthly fees to access it. And Ubisoft has decided that, well, it wants to make some money off of it as well. Both require the usual array of information, including your name, address, and credit card information. Very typical stuff. Again, there's some of y'all out there that will just go, oh, okay, so business as usual. And I'm kind of the same way, but the fact that this is taking it to the point where it's a class action lawsuit against, well, some could say a dying company. Let's kick them while they're down. The problem, according to the lawsuit available in full form on from Court Listener, is that Ubisoft makes use of Pixel, which Meta describes as, quote, a piece of code on our website that can help you better understand the effectiveness of your advertising and the actions people take on your site. So, targeted marketing. They're going to dig into your information and get some targeted marketing. Be careful what you say around your phone, because you'll get targeted marketing from Google, from YouTube, from Facebook, all that stuff. I've tested it. It's creepy. Like visiting a page or adding an item to a cart. Wow. Simply put, anything you do on the Ubisoft website, well, anything you do online, while you're logged into Facebook is seen as seen and tracked for use of retargeting. Again, targeted advertising, which is essentially the process of convincing people who are buying your stuff to buy more of your stuff. Yep. This was Saturday morning cartoons for me, for my generation. Targeted advertising. Saturday morning cartoons, 30-minute commercials for toys. That's all that was. We knew it, and we were fine with it. We were just, relatively smart enough, although, we eat paint chips. Vaguely dystopian. Not really. Par for the course, maybe? something that's been done since the dawn of advertising. You put particular marketing, particular commercials at particular time slots, Saturday morning cartoons. You got to get the juices out there, the toys, the guns. And again, the cartoons I grew up on were nothing more than 30-minute commercials for toys. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, He-Man. It was all to sell toys. So vaguely dystopian? I disagree with that. That's just business as usual in this day and age. Anyone who thinks their data isn't picked over with a fine-tooth comb and fed into the gaping maw of the capitalism machine isn't paying attention. But this particular implementation of consumer surveillance is unlawful. Oh, really? According to the lawsuit, because it exposes personally identifiable information, quote, to any person of ordinary technical skill who receives the data. So, if there is an agreement, and if there's a law against this, well, it looks like the class action lawsuit would have some merit. What do you think? Or are we just going to sit there, point and laugh and dance on Ubisoft's grave when they finally go down, or get fully, completely, and totally 100% bought out by Tencent? Because we know that's coming too. Let's see, and does so without, there we go, without disclosing in advance that it's happening. That's probably going to be the number one thing that gets them. Let us know that you're taking all of our information and selling it to the highest bidder, and we'll just feel a little bit more comfortable about it. Because again, if you don't understand that's already happening, well, I got a bridge I can sell you. This, the suit states, is a violation of the Video Privacy Protection Act, the Federal Wiretap Act. That's a big one, I'm sure. It's like the word federal in it. And the California Invasion of Privacy Act, even though California wants to invade all your privacy and control what you do with your kids. Anyway, and for the plaintiffs, Trevor Lakes and it's two people? Hold on, wait. Plaintiffs Trevor Lakes and Alex Rajub, I hope, both of whom purchased multiple games from the Ubisoft store, quote, individually and on behalf of all others similarly situated, are seeking financial damages and an order compelling Ubisoft to either get rid of Pixel or obtain consent from its users to share their data. More than likely, they'll just get consent because people will check out. What they're going to do is they're going to adjust the end user license agreement and put that in there somewhere that you agree to it because, you know, you could be agreeing to that large individual comes over and goes to bed with your mother and you wouldn't even know it because none of us read that nonsense. Yes, I stole that joke. Another checkbox for us to blast through. Even the article said it. I didn't catch that before I started running my mouth, which is usually. Anyway, another checkbox for us to blast through, I guess, without reading it. There's still a good way to go before anything comes of it. The suit is still awaiting class action certification, for one thing. But given Ubisoft's current struggles, I'm sure it's not welcome news. Ubisoft is not getting all that much welcome news. Again, it's one disaster after another for Ubisoft this year. Following softer than expected sales of Star Wars Outlaws and a last-minute delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows, the company is pulling out all the stops, including a full-scale return to Steam, probably a good idea, might increase some sales across the board, to right its ship and get its share price pointed in a vaguely upward direction. Again, Ubisoft's founding Guillemot family is also reportedly having discussions with major investor Tencent. I believe Tencent already owns 49% of Ubisoft. That could see the company taken private. Had a little discussion about. A lot of people are talking about that one. Not a good year for Ubisoft. Delays, failures, stock prices plummeting, and now employees going on strike. And now this oh so wonderful probability maybe of a class action lawsuit. Not looking good. Are we ready to dance on the graves? But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTube beg you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.